I welcome all the students of MA Political Science second semester students of DAP Postgraduate College, Varanasi to this lecture on Indian political thought. Today we will briefly discuss Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. I have decided to make it into two lectures. Today's lecture would focus on life and times of Gandhi and also discuss some of the basic ideas of his thinking. Basic points, basic features of his thinking. And then we will go over to the Hind Swaras, one of his very important books, very small one. So we will discuss on Hind Swaras in the next lecture. We all know Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. There is hardly any Indian who would not know, and it would be an insult to India if someone doesn't know about Gandhi. Sooner or later, the freedom struggle of India would have been a success. But the way India won its independence under the leadership of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was unprecedented. For the first time, an independence war was won through non-violence. Gandhiji, also known as the Naked Fakir, was able to force Britain, one of the mightiest empires of the time, to give independence to this country only by his moral power. His main weapons were non-violence, truth, sacrifice, and suffering. A man of simple living, he raised his voice against materialism and consumerism of the West. And we'll be studying this in Hind Swaras in the next lecture. Gandhi had very little appreciation for industrialization. His social engineering and political movement had imprints of his spiritualism. While leading the movement for independence and innovating programs for socio-economic change that he did, he seldom ignored his mission of India's moral regeneration. A man of highest commitment and integrity, he tried his best to experiment himself, his philosophical ideas, and that is why he gave this title to his autobiography, My Experiments with Truth. Einstein had rightly said that generations to come will scarcely believe that such a person, ever in flesh and blood, walked upon this earth. Sir Stafford Cripps had observed, paying homage to Gandhiji, that I know of no other man of any time or indeed recent history who has so forcefully and so convincingly demonstrated the power of spirit over material things. I have made use of some pictures, some photos which in this PPT, and I have taken these from the internet resources of Gandhi Foundation. So I acknowledge this. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar in Kathiawar district of Gujarat. His father was not educated but was able to become the Prime Minister of Rajkot state for a short period. Gandhi matriculated from Kathiawar High School and graduated from Samaldas College in Bhavnagar in Gujarat, now Gujarat. He successfully completed his bar at law in England in 1891. In order to practice law, Gandhi left for South Africa in 1893 and stayed there for 20 long years. The foundation of his experiments in non-violence and satyagraha was actually laid down in that distant land. He was shocked to see that the blacks and others, including the Indians, were subjected to inhuman policy of racial discrimination or apartheid. He himself also fell a victim to it when he was traveling in the first class compartment of a train, and he was thrown out from it by white railway officials. Incidents like this left a deep impact on his mind and he launched a movement against apartheid in South Africa, which was based on non-violence and called Satyagraha. His Satyagraha lasted in South Africa lasted from 1904 till 1914. When he came back to India, Congress was an elitist organization, and its leaders were educated, rich people. Gandhi took the challenge to convert Congress into a mass organization. It was a middle class organization. He tried to convert, and he succeeded in converting it into a mass organization. On the advice of his political guru, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Gandhi toured the whole country in order to meet people, Indians, know their problems, understand them, and this visit brought him closer to the Indian people and helped him to understand India much better. Under Gokhale's influence, Gandhi started as a moderate, but his frustration over the actions of the government tilted him towards radicalism. He launched at least 3 very important movements: non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, and finally the Quit India movement, which were not only very successful in mobilizing the people of India to believe that they can govern their country independently, but also broke the morale of the British government. Under the leadership of Gandhi, Congress became the most important platform of India during the freedom movement. Now let's focus on the basic ideas of M.K. Gandhi. Gandhi was not only a great thinker, he was also a highly motivated missionary and activist. He was not a man of sermon only. Whatever he preached, he tried his best to put that into practice. Some of his ideas articulated as a leader, as a philosopher, could be discussed as like this. He did not believe in isms. His ideas were many and varied, and they got lasting influence on humanity. Many people in several countries claim Gandhism, but Gandhi was very humble to say that he had not created any ism or was hardly interested in doing so. He did not want to leave behind any sect. That's what he said. And he used to say, I do not claim to have originated any new principle or doctrine. I have simply tried in my own way to apply the eternal truths to our daily life and problems. There is therefore no question of my leaving any code like Code of Manu. Second, he believed in spiritualization of politics. He was secular. Secularism for him did not mean leaving his religion behind. He was a devoted Hindu, but he had great respect for other religions. Religion for him meant morality or spirituality. Politics was not seen by him as a game of power. He looked at politics as a means to promote moral development. So because of this, he considered that politics can be an area of spiritualization. He believed in ahimsa and satyagraha. He not only preached them, but he practiced them throughout his life. He disapproved any action that involved violence. He suspended the non-cooperation movement after the outbreak of violence at Chauri Chaura, because he believed that violence is not the right way of mobilizing people. He believed that both means and end should be balanced and pure. The purity of means will lead to purity of end. However noble the end may be, it is not worth pursuing if the means are impure. According to Gandhi, the apostle of soul force or non-violence rejects. According to Gandhi, who was the apostle of soul force or non-violence, state represents violence and brute force. He considered state as a soulless machine. For him, the state was born out of violence, so it cannot be separated from violence. State embodied violence and it would hinder the growth of individuals. However, as the individual is not yet free from imperfection, so he will need a state for the time being, which he considered as a necessary evil. Gandhi believed in decentralization. He opposed concentration of powers. Therefore, he believed that real democracy would spring from the enjoyment of real powers by villagers. He argued that autonomous and self-reliant village republics would best promote individual freedom and social good. Gandhi believed in dignity of labor. He was very practical in arguing that industrialization involving use of heavy machines would produce large-scale unemployment. He recommended cottage industries to his countrymen and laid stress on the dignity of physical labor. If all labor for their bread and no more, there would be enough leisure for all. Gandhi was an ardent nationalist. His life was dedicated to the independence and development of India. His first mission was to see India freed from the bondage of foreign rule. There were contradictions between castes, classes, and religions. He was aware of these contradictions, but he tried to carry the whole nation with him in the struggle against the British government. He gave the first priority to independence of India and hoped that other questions, important though, could be addressed once the independence is won. So now let's try to sum up Gandhiji for today's lecture. Under his leadership, India won independence. Though India was replete with different kinds of divisions and contradictions, the whole nation could launch a united fight against the British because mainly of his charismatic personality. Britain was then a mighty empire, but it was defeated by Indians who used the weapon of non-violence. Gandhi valued moral development as against materialism. His motto was simple living and high thinking. Happiness lies in voluntary reduction of wants, not in multiplication of wants. Gandhi thus symbolizes some of the best virtues of humanity, but he has not been above criticisms. Many people have criticized him in many ways. B.R. Ambedkar was a staunch critic of Gandhiji. We have discussed it a little while discussing B.R. Ambedkar, that he did not like the term Harijan that was coined by Gandhiji for the scheduled caste people. He felt that Gandhi was trying to appease the upper caste people and try to play down the caste divisions. Despite all the various other criticisms that was labeled against Gandhiji, Gandhiji was still remains the most important figure that the world knows about India. Gandhi was a preacher as well as a practitioner of non-violence, a pacifist, and entire world looks up to him when it comes to peace. So we will stop here today, and we will take the next lecture on Hind Swaraj, his book. Thank you so much. Stay happy, stay healthy.